Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about why social work, and this edition I would like to call it So You Want to Be a Social Worker edition. And this edition that I'm going to create is where I'm going to just focus on things relating to social work. And so I just want to start off now and talk about why did I wanted to get into the field of social work, and more so my drive to want to be a therapist. So first off, I just want to point out that I will be reading from my notes that I have here. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm reading my notes, and it's a lot of stuff. So let's get to it. So first off, I want to talk about how growing up in a Haitian family, there's these career that typical Haitian parents want you to focus on, which is either to become a doctor, lawyer, or engineer, and a nurse. So yeah, that was the high standard that we had to achieve for some of us in my family. So when it came to high school, I decided to sign up for this nursing program in my high school, because the high school that I went to was a vocational high school. So I applied and I got in. I gave them because you just can't just apply and just get in just like that. We had to apply, and also we had to have an interview and all that stuff. So what I did during my interview, I mentioned how I would take care of my grandmother by monitoring her blood sugar, and also implementing and documenting what she had been eating and all that stuff, and whether the blood sugar has spiked or the blood pressure had spiked and all that stuff. So that was a way for me to let them know, yes, I'm interested in a nursing program, and I have done some form of nursing stuff to get in. So I got in, and I did my rotations from nursing homes into hospitals. It was a fun experience, but what I noticed that during those clinical experiences, I noticed that I was interested more on how people's thoughts and feelings were and how they were being addressed. Yes, they're diagnosed with certain medical issue, but how are they doing mentally, as far as besides the physical aspect of their diagnosis? How are they dealing with this? Do they have any support? Are they speaking to someone to address their mental their mental symptoms and stuff like that? And how is the medical symptoms agitating their mental health as well? So I was interested in that when I was in high school. So by my final year, I decided to apply for psychology, when it was time to apply for my college major and stuff like that. And let's just say, when I told my parents that that's what I wanted to study, it was a big issue, but not as much of a big issue, because the type of parents I have, they're very supportive. So when I explained to them that this is what I wanted to study, and I wanted to focus on the human behavior and all that stuff, and just basically letting them know what it's all about, because they have that bubble where it's either doctor, lawyer, or nurse, or engineer. So explaining to them a different area, field, and stuff like that helps to breaking down this the bubble that they have. So I'm showing them that there's other stuff out there besides just studying the bubble. Doctor, lawyer, engineer, and nurse really helped. So next, I end up getting my bachelor's from psychology. From that, I enjoyed my experience from learning about psychology. It was a learning experience, because it focused. I wasn't expecting for psychology to focus so much on research, and because I was expecting more hands-on therapy and all that stuff, but it was more on research, which there's nothing wrong with research. I love research. I love it even more now than I did when I was in undergrad for my psychology, and I'll explain the reason why. But during the time when I was studying psychology, I was expecting more to learn on, how to conduct this therapy, how to conduct such and such and such and such. But when it came down to the whole research aspect, taking research methods, taking statistics and all that stuff, it was a lot. And it also throughout the years helped me understand like why is this important and all that stuff. So then my final year of psychology, and it was what I did not expect, but it just opened doors to what more I can do with the psychology degree. So then, so in the compass of my final year, I also had to process my final year because there was a lot going on during my final year. I went to a car accident during my final year, which caused me to. It was a lot of stress during that time, but I was able to complete my final degree besides besides ending it and then completing my final year for another year. I wasn't gonna have that. So once I got the car accident, I decided to push through, even through what was going on with me at the time. So with all that's going on, I was advised from my parents and also my doctors to take a year break. So by taking the year break, it really helped me think what I wanted my master's to be in. I knew that I didn't want to leave psychology. I wanted to stay in that same field and wanting to help people when it comes to their mental illness or their mental symptoms. And I knew that I didn't want to steer away from psychology, so I was doing some research and I looked at, well, social work is not that different. It's still doing the same thing. It's more hands-on what I'm looking for, and there is that research aspect to it and stuff like that. So my year break ended up opening up more stuff for me. So, and plus on top of that, I knew that from a master's, I did not want to take the GREs. I could not take the GREs due to the symptoms that I was going through after my car accident. So being able to find this program that, number one, it sticks to what I want to study as far as like what I studied in undergrad. It's not too far from it. And number two, I felt like taking the GREs would cause, it would be more streamful for me, a lot of stress for me and all that stuff. So I knew that it would put too much pressure for me to want to go get my master's, and I knew that it would steer me away from getting the master's. And I feel like when it comes to statistics, when it comes to standardized tests like this, I feel like it makes it discouraged me, and I wasn't going to have the word discourage me. This is what I wanted to do, and I was going to find a way to enter a master's program. So when it came down to entering the social work program, I got in, no juries. Anyway, so I knew that with the social work degree, I knew what I wanted out of it, and also keeping in mind what's the end goal of what I wanted. So I knew that with social work I have the freedom and flexibility to enter many different things, from immigration, working with people who work with refugees, because I've done some volunteering in that, visiting detention centers with that, and that's also given me an outlook on what I could do with my social work degree. Also working with children, that's another route. But my main focus when I wanted out of my social work degree was to take this globally. I can't remember when, but I knew that when I was little, I wanted to go beyond of America. I wanted to see other places and stuff like that. Like, how are they handling certain situations, as far as not only as for mental illness issues, but just beyond that. So I knew that the school that I was entering to had connections when it comes to being an international social worker. And what I did was that was my drive to apply for that school. And I got in, and I make sure that I got the best out of it. So what I mean by getting the best out of it was that I applied for, because there were 2 tracks in my social work program, and it had clinical, and also it had a leadership route, and I wanted that leadership route to be focusing on the international route. So having those 2 experiences put together, okay, we have these 2 things. Once you get those 2 experiences, what can you do with that? And I knew that that's what I always wanted. Let me see what else. And yeah, so just by rehashing everything that I just said, when it came down to why social work, it started off from just by my experience in high school and my undergrad, and the reason why I got into the field of social work. I wanted to continue to do therapy with others, helping others, dealing with their mental illness, entering that field made me look at mental illness in a total different way. Taking a lot of courses in my undergrad and also my master's program, it makes you, it opens up a lot for you and the people around you, and learning all these different type of mental illnesses and the disorders and stuff like that. And it humbles you, and also we're all human, and I feel that I'm glad that I made this choice and would not regret it. And yeah, and I'm glad that you came onto this page to click on here to learn about why I became a social worker. And if you have any questions, just let me know down in the comments. Thank you. Bye.